With an interesting offseason behind us, we will be getting through training camp and all of the preseason. This New York Jets team has some questions, and surprisingly, who our starting quarterback will be isn't one of them. Justin Fields last year averaged 237 total yards per game, had 31 total touchdowns, a 65% completion percentage, but also had 18 total turnovers. He will need to clean that up if he wants to stick around long term. He is on the last year of his deal. Very few starters will be playing for us in the preseason. Fields won't play, so we will see quarterback 2 Gardner Minshew and have Brady Cook battle mathematics for quarterback 3. No Breece Hall this preseason either. He is, of course, RB1. RB2 is still Braylon Allen, the 22-year-old entering his 3rd NFL season already. After a great training camp, he got a depth trade upgrade. Now star development, which is awesome for his future. I am excited to see him, and also Keaton Mitchell, our explosive RB3 this preseason. We signed Keaton Mitchell in free agency, and he's going to have a couple of roles on this team. Clyde Swinton has a chance to be wide receiver 2 behind only Garrett Wilson on the depth chart, but I don't want to just hand it to him. I want to see him go out and earn it in the preseason. We did use a very high pick on him, the 34th overall pick in the draft, so he should be able to win that job, at least you would hope so. DJ Farrell, a hidden dev UDFA out of Florida, has an opportunity to make this team. He'll be competing with Alan Lazard, John Mechie, and also Victor Solano, who are just 2 available roster spots we have left at wide receiver. Jelani Woods and Joey Camarillo are fighting for tight end 3. A lot to watch for at wide receiver and tight end this preseason. The offensive line is going to have all backups playing on it this preseason, including Carlos Crawford, the 139th pick overall in this past draft, a 5th rounder, who will attempt to go out there and play every snap of offense in the preseason. I want him getting as many reps as possible in the preseason, since he's not going to be a starter for us in the regular season and is likely not going to be seeing the field very much. Let's get him on the field while we can, because the hope is that he can develop into our starting left guard as early as next year. On defense, at defensive tackle, Nick Larson could be special. We used the 118th overall pick on him, a 4th round pick. I want him to be a full-time guy. The block shedding is just not where it needs to be quite yet, though. Only 74. If he goes out there and has a great preseason, then yeah, he could be a full-time guy. We know him and Quinnen Williams are going to make the team. What about the other defensive tackles? You got Hand, Caldwell, Rodriguez, and Taylor III, all scrapping for just 2 available spots at defensive tackle. No McDonald IV or Clowney this preseason. You will see Tyler Barron and Baron Browning, who are also locked into roster spots, meaning we have 1 other roster spot available at edge rusher. Eric Watts, Braden McGregor, and Glenn Cowan all contending for that. The reigning AFC linebacker of the year, Quincy Williams, is ready for the regular season, up to superstar development after winning that award. He is 30 years old, so you got to start planning for the future a little bit. We don't really have that many young linebackers in this group that have sky-high ceilings, so we'll see what happens in the preseason. Maybe a guy or 2 could stand out and work their way into being a long-term option for us. JT Beckham is the guy we used our 1st round pick on. We actually traded up to get him. I'm more so focused on his long-term development. We do want him to play early, but he doesn't have to go out there and be a superstar right away. I just want to see him not be bad in the preseason. If he goes out there and looks at least all right, that would be a win. We have Tyreek Pearson, another hidden development UDFA. He is 21 years old, a 6'2" cornerback out of Northwestern. Horrible zone coverage. He's going to be competing with James, Tampa, and Trice Jr. for that last cornerback spot. The top 4 guys there are all locked in. At safety, we got a guy in Dennis Hopkins who seems to be the heir apparent to Tyrann Mathieu. But can Dennis Hopkins have a role right away as a rookie? The man coverage is brutal, only 61, so if he is on the field, he'll have to be in zone coverage. But maybe he can shock us in the preseason and go out there and win some battles in man coverage. We already know who the safeties will be on the roster. We just don't know how much playing time each one of them is going to get. Just 13 roster spots up for grabs, with 35 guys duking it out for them. Who will win them? Should be an intriguing preseason with lots going on in it. Let's get into game number 1 of the preseason, taking on the Falcons and Bijan Robinson, who is stopped at the line of scrimmage one-on-one. Not something easy to do, but Brian Asamoah, the 2022 third-round pick of the Minnesota Vikings, he does it. Here is Dennis Hopkins, the rookie safety out of Washington, introducing himself to the NFL world with a nice TFL. On the next play, it'll be a screen to Robinson, and he's going to welcome JT Beckham to the NFL with a nasty juke. I'm sure JT Beckham in his days at Michigan State never saw anything like that. Now at the 36 of New York, Atlanta going with a backwards pass. I guess it's preseason for everybody. Taylor Mendoza saving the day for Atlanta and nearly getting a first down on the fumble recovery. At the 10, Penix, with no pressure on him, is going to take off towards the end zone and run in easily. The Falcons starting offense scoring on the Jets' backup defense. You expect that to happen. Nice to see our backup so making a couple of plays on the drive. Gardner Minshew, QB2, floating and dropping it into Calvin Austin. What type of role is Calvin Austin going to have this year? He did sign a 2-year, $12 million contract after averaging 40 yards per game last year in Pittsburgh. Clyde Swinton on third down, bowling over multiple defenders. The rookie receiver out of West Virginia, showing that he's a dog. 5'9", 185. What a great first impression that is to earn that first down. In the red zone later on the drive, Minshew over the middle looking for Swinton again, and it's a touchdown this time. Clyde Swinton showing that he wants to be wide receiver 2 to begin his career. If he keeps on making play after play like that, and the one he made before that, then yeah, he's going to be wide receiver 2. Penix under pressure this time, and he's sacked. Baron Browning with his first sack as a Jet. He is going to be splitting time this year with Jadeveon Clowney, at least to begin this season. We'll see which of the two gets maybe a hot hand. Backups in the game for Atlanta. Nick Larson doesn't care. The 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin, the rookie defensive tackle, getting the sack. After a penalty and a loss of 5, Atlanta facing 2nd and 20. It's another sack for the Jets defense. You can see Jonathan Gannon dialing it up, our new defensive coordinator, winning our first-round rookie. JT Beckham go on the blitz and get the sack. Keaton Mitchell up the middle, hammered at the end of the run. Nice to see him, though, running up the middle and getting 19 yards on just a simple play. And he's going to do it again. Not a 19-yard run, but a 15-yard run as he's chewing up yards on this drive. At the 16 on 3rd down, Cook to the middle of the end zone, overshoots Arian Smith. Just couldn't put enough touch on the throw. And here comes Harrison Mevis, our kicker, for a field goal. He signed a 3-year deal this past offseason after having a solid first year with New York. Dre Spillman is down on the ground, a UDFA tackle out of Ohio State. He suffered a torn abdomen on the play, and he's going to have to go on IR. That will end his preseason and maybe even his regular season. 0-0 on the clock. Brady Cook going to chuck up a Hail Mary towards the end zone, and it's incomplete with a penalty on Atlanta. It'll be pass interference in the end zone, giving the Jets a free untimed down at the 1. And of course, they will go for the touchdown. Why not? It's preseason. Let your guys make plays, and they do. Brady Cook to John Mechie. It's a touchdown. John Mechie trying to make this team as a depth wide receiver, fighting Alan Lazard, DJ Farrell, and Victor Solano. We'll see who ends up getting those 2 wide receiver spots. Still got plenty of time here in the preseason to find that out. Trent Clark getting a strip sack on 4th and inches. And the linebacker, the rookie linebacker, didn't realize that nobody touched him down. Could have gotten up and scored a touchdown there. At least he got on the ball and didn't let Atlanta pull off any shenanigans. We forced a turnover on downs there. Brady Cook still in the game in the 3rd quarter. He's going to spin, leaving the pocket. And with nobody open, he's going to show off his speed, something we saw last year when he did play in the preseason and even in the regular season. Got to play in a couple of games. Goal to go at the 1 on 4th down. It's a run straight ahead. Donovan Edwards into the end zone. He was on the Jets practice squad almost all of last year. He began the year on the active roster, but got sent to the practice squad. Nice to see him scoring a touchdown here. In the 4th quarter now, Matt Maddox at quarterback, the UDFA out of Nevada, with some nice accuracy, getting the ball to Aaron Smith, who will make the team. The second-year receiver out of Georgia. Just don't know how much he's going to play this year. Maddox, not as fast as Fields or Cook, but he can still scoot a little bit. A run for 15 yards and take it across midfield. Maddox, under some pressure on third down, will take a shot to DJ Farrell, and the UDFA receiver can't hang on. But he does draw a PI on Atlanta. It'll be goal to go for New York. Maddox faking a give, getting the ball out of his hands quickly to Joey Camarillo. Another UDFA. He's a 6'3", 250-pound tight end out of Washington. Only 21 years old. He'll score the touchdown, and the Jets are going to take preseason game number 1, defeating the Falcons 31-24. Let's get right into preseason game number 2, taking on the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Keaton Mitchell on the opening kickoff is going to find a crease, and he's going to show off his 94 speed, returning this one 92 yards to the end zone. In the same place that Devin Hester used to return kicks, Keaton Mitchell shows that he is an explosive player in his own right. Maybe not to Devin Hester's level, but I think he could be a great kick returner. Part of the reason we signed him. Braylon Allen making a man miss. That is something you didn't see Braylon Allen do much of last year. It was usually just a big power back that would run people over. But if he can make people miss in the open field like Gardner Minshew just did here, making Jermaine Johnson the second whiff, the ex-Jet who, we traded to the Bears in the offseason, making a big mistake there. Minshew underneath to Mason Taylor. It is a touchdown. The second-year tight end out of LSU doing some flipping in the end zone. I have some big expectations for him in year number 2 of his NFL career. He had a solid rookie year. Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the Bears, is going to find an open man over the middle. It is Rome Odunze. The ball coming out. Oh, peak preseason football here. The ball flying around on the ground until somebody finally gets on it. That is Luther Burden, the second-year receiver out of Missouri. That would lead to a Bears score. Here's a pass downfield. It's intercepted by Jalen Johnson. Brady Cook underthrowing Aaron Smith, who had beaten Jalen Johnson off the line and had some separation, but Cook just doesn't have the arm to make a throw like that. The Bears in front 17-14 as Cook is able to get the ball to Jeremy Rucker. Great blocking downfield by Clyde Swinton, who is, trying to earn that wide receiver 2 spot. Keeps on making play after play out there, even if he's not making the catch. Harrison Mevis on this longer field goal is going to make it and tie the game up. Mike White in the game at quarterback for the Bears now. He's going to go up top for Rome Odunze, who is one-on-one with Tyreek Pearson, and the undrafted rookie corner wins the battle. Pearson played his college ball at Northwestern, which is just 17 miles away from Soldier Field, so he's probably playing in front of friends and family in this one, and just made a great play against a good wide receiver in Rome Odunze. DJ Farrell wide open over the middle. He'll pick up a big chunk of yardage. How did he get so wide open? Well, he did the work himself, cooking on this route. I know it was against the linebacker. It was still a great route. 20-17 in the fourth quarter. A screen to DJ Farrell, who slips through a blocker and a defender, and is up to the 30. Another nice play by DJ Farrell, who looked even solid in that first preseason game. I knew he didn't really make any big plays besides drawing a PI call. Victor Solano ripping this one down. He's 6'5", 221, a bigger wide receiver who is hoping to somehow make this team. Shot downfield from Maddox is caught by Aaron Smith. Good touch on the throw, and the Jets are in the red zone. Maddox will head under center, hand it off to Tyler Gomez, the UDFA running back out of Georgia, and he'll punch it into the end zone. Not competing for a roster spot, but he is battling Donovan Edwards for a practice squad spot, and he has himself a touchdown. Mike White under pressure. It is a volt tackle from Eric Watts. He'll get the sack. The Bears wouldn't be stopped, though, on that set of downs. White left side. It's going the other way. Malachi Moore says, "Don't forget about me." I know we signed a couple of free agents and drafted a guy, but Malachi Moore in his second year out of Alabama wants to make an impact on our defense still, and he will still get some playing time this year. 34-17, the Bears have not much time left to make a comeback. It's the preseason. You're not really playing for winning, but you're playing to, try and get your young guys work and Tyreek Pearson is putting in a lot of work, locking up Rome Odunze in the second half. I mean, just look at this. Tyreek Pearson, the 6'2 cornerback, winning battle after battle out there. Goal to go at the 1 with triple zeros on the clock, and Jelani Woods, he'll score a touchdown as we not run up the score, I would say, more so letting our guys get opportunities. We do win this one, though, 40-17, or 2-0 in the preseason. Preseason game number 3, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Another road game, and Nick Larson helping us get off to a great start. He's going to sling Prescott to the ground. And so far, from what I've seen out of Nick Larson, he is going to have a big role right away, but maybe not be an every down guy. Want him out there for sure as a pass rusher. Braylon Allen up the middle, finding some space and showing that he has a little bit of speed to him, a little bit of a burst. 19-yard run, and you probably noticed it. Maddox is starting at quarterback in this one. Want to get him a look against some starters. Here is a 60-yard field goal from Harrison Mevis. It would be a new career long if it was a regular season game. His regular season career long is 50-70. Nails that one. Dallas near midfield. Dak Prescott hit by a heat-seeking missile, and Dennis Hopkins. Still not quite sure what his role will be for us in the regular season, but he has made a few nice plays in the preseason. Maddox on third down is intercepted. He got completely fooled by a late dropper. Just didn't see him at all. He thought he had an easy completion underneath, but gets picked off instead. Joey Camarillo with some great hustle to prevent the pick six. We'll see if the Cowboys can take advantage of that takeaway and take the lead. Brian Asamoah defeating a pulling guard and making the stop in the backfield. Prescott pump faking on third down. He's going to chuck it up towards the end zone into double coverage for Tolbert. And Tyreek Pearson is in on another pass breakup. This time getting a bit of help from Kobe Bryant, who is expected to be one of our starting safeties this year. Maddox on the boot has a defender in his face immediately, but he makes an accurate throw. But Jelani Woods on the move, and that's a big play for the 6'7" tight end. Just outside the red zone, it'll be a run up the middle. Keaton Mitchell getting a block from Clyde Swinton, and Mitchell has another touchdown in the preseason. I think it's time to put him on ice. Got to shout out that block from Clyde Swinton. That was great. And also the block by Joey Camarillo. He's one-on-one with a defensive tackle and opened up that hole, making the play even possible for Keaton Mitchell. So the Jets on top by a touchdown. Here's Prescott finding George Pickens, who beat J.T. Beckham. It's been a mixed bag for J.T. Beckham in the preseason. Some good, some bad. Blue hit in the backfield by Zaire Barnes, who we already know is going to be linebacker 4. He's made the team. It's on the last year of his rookie deal. Prescott to Ferguson, and it's a touchdown for the Cowboys. That is the Zaire Barnes experience. One good play, one bad play. Happens a lot with him. 2 minutes to go in the half. Maddox to Lazard. He's going to bounce off a defender. Now Lazard, remember, not guaranteed a roster spot. He is battling a couple of young players, 2 rookies, and also John Mechie. Lazard over the middle, making a man miss, and he's up to the 7. 4 catches and 60 yards for Alan Lazard with a job on the line. Maddox to the end zone on 3rd and goal. It's Joey Camarillo. Another touchdown in the preseason for him. Had to make a tough catch, but he got the job done. Wonder if he's going to be tight end 3 or if it's going to be Jelani Woods. They've honestly both made some nice plays here in the preseason. Got Brady Cook in the game. He's got to do the old chuck and duck, getting the ball to Camarillo, who makes a sensational catch. Fighting momentum itself to make that play happen. Jimmy Ward, by the way, shaken up for the Cowboys safeties. Cook panicking, throwing back across the field, and he's intercepted by Jimmy Ward. Maybe a bit of an embellishment on that injury. Probably faking it. He got right back out there and got the pick. So both of the guys fighting for the quarterback 3 spot have thrown a pick in this one. Javonte Williams bouncing off of defenders and getting a block, and Williams into the open field. He's gone. 59 yards to the end zone, destroying some of our backups and third stringers we have in the game. And the Cowboys have tied the game up, and they're now going to try for the lead. Brandon Aubrey, one of the best kickers in the NFL, can't even get the kick off. A bad snap or bad hold, whatever it was, Zaire Barnes made the tackle in the backfield, and it's a turnover on downs. So we have the ball in the red zone, and Tyler Gomez is going to take it into the end zone. He gets his second touchdown of the preseason. Seems like he is going to end up winning that practice squad job over Donovan Edwards. Shout out to Carlos Crawford, who opened up the hole by defeating Micah Parsons one-on-one, manhandling him. Joe Milton sacked. That is Tyreek Pearson. Of course it is. This dude is all over the field, making play after play. He's passing every test that you throw his way. A screen is Smith. He'll bounce off a defender and slip through a blocker and a defender. Smith off to the races, 55 yards to the end zone. We already know he's making the team. Just don't know how much he's going to play this year when you have some other wide receivers that may be more talented, but you know, he's got speed. Harrison Mevis on to try a long field goal, and it's blocked. A bad snap by Thomas Hennessy, our long snapper, leads to that getting blocked. Better to happen now, though, than in the regular season, I guess. The Jets leading by 2 scores with under 2 minutes to go in this final preseason game. Milton has a cannon. He's going to show it off, going deep to Jonathan Mingo, who mosses Brandon Hill. It's a touchdown for the Cowboys. I have a hunch that Brandon Hill's not going to be making the roster. And now the Cowboys have a chance. They're going to be going for the onside kick. And they're going to get it. John Mechie trying to make the roster in a competition with a couple of other guys, and he makes a catastrophic mistake. The Cowboys trying to tie this one up, and they will. Jaden Blue finds the end zone, and we are tied up late. Just a complete and utter collapse. 2 special teams mess-ups. Messed up an onside kick, messed up a field goal, and also gave up basically a Hail Mary. Here's Victor Solano getting open, and he's up to the 40-yard line. The Jets are going to use a timeout. They got 23 seconds and 1 timeout to get into field goal range. Otherwise, we're going to end in the dreaded tie. Throw downfield. Great timing on this pass. Group before Mechie was even out of his break. And that's a first down, and we are in field goal range barely. Cook, who's right. It's brought in by Joey Camarillo. Some good placement high and away from the defender. And it's caught by Camarillo on the sideline, who got out of bounds. Cook over the middle. Some more good anticipation by Cook, hitting Camarillo again. And this field goal is a lot easier for Harrison Mevis. Just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick is right down the middle. So the Jets are able to complete the perfect preseason, going 3-0. And the Cowboys, their first and only loss of the preseason, they go 2-1. We are just one of 3 teams that went undefeated in the preseason. The Broncos and Steelers being the other 2. Brady Cook wasn't perfect in the preseason, but I saw enough from him on that final drive. He made some big-time throws, and he was good last year, so he will be quarterback 3, with Matt Maddox going to the practice squad. Tight end 3 will not be Jelani Woods. It will be Joey Camarillo, who just earned that spot flat out, so we're going to have to cut Jelani Woods. At wide receiver, John Mechie has been cut. Victor Solano will go to the practice squad. Alan Lazard has made the team, and so has DJ Farrell. On the offensive line, the only shocker there is that Cooper Hodges is going to be shifting from right guard to center, and he'll be the main backup at center. At running back, Gomez goes to the practice squad, and Edwards ends up getting cut. At edge rusher, Watts has made the team. Cowan goes to the practice squad, and McGregor gets cut. At defensive tackle, Taylor III and Caldwell have made the team. At linebacker, Brian Asamoah and Brandon Smith are the 2 extra linebackers that ended up making it. At cornerback, not much of a surprise after what we saw in the preseason. It is Tyreek Pearson getting the nod there. And no surprise at safety. The guys that we thought would make the team have made the team. JT Beckham may have gotten outplayed by Tyreek Pearson this preseason. To me, though, that says more about Pearson. He was just that good this preseason. Beckham, he was all right. At least he gets a +3 boost to his vertical, so a good athlete that gets even better. Let's make these 22 cuts official. Some tough decisions, some not so much. Brian Allen, John Mechie, Jelani Woods, and Deshaun Hand are all guys that we gave bonuses to in free agency, and they didn't make the team. So just because we give you a bonus in free agency doesn't mean anything. The practice squad has 10 UDFAs on it, and has 2 veterans. The offense, not much to talk about here besides Clyde Swinton getting the wide receiver 2 spot. On defense, not really much to say here either. Just going to have a lot of rotations. We'll see how that ends up working out for us. Our schedule this year has 9 primetime games on it. 2 right away against division rivals, 1 against the Chiefs on a short week, back-to-back versus the Texans and Bills before facing Detroit on Thanksgiving, followed by back-to-back again, this time against the Vikings and Seahawks, then 1 more for good measure against the Chargers, who took Aiden Hutchinson from us, and it's a playoff rematch. The schedule makers, they cooked. First up, though, we got the Dolphins on Monday night. Primetime game right away against a division rival. We'll see how that goes. Let me know your expectations and thoughts for this upcoming season in the comments section. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.